Have you ever walked into a room and felt it? That quiet shift, that invisible tension, like everyone knows something about you, and it's not good. No one said anything, no one looked at you strangely, but somehow you just knew. They don't like me. Now here's the disturbing question. What if that feeling isn't coming from them, but from your own brain? What if your mind is quietly scanning for rejection even when there isn't any? And what if the belief that everyone hates me is actually a psychological defense mechanism? Stay with me, because what you're about to understand might completely change how you interpret social reality. Your brain has one job: keep you safe. Thousands of years ago, being rejected from the tribe meant death, so your nervous system evolved to treat social rejection like physical danger. The same brain regions activate during social exclusion as during physical pain. To your brain, being disliked feels like being injured. Now here's where it becomes dangerous. If your brain becomes overly sensitive to rejection, it starts detecting threats that aren't there. Neutral faces become hostile. Silence becomes judgment. Delayed replies become abandonment. And suddenly, you're not reacting to reality, you're reacting to prediction. Some people develop something called rejection sensitivity. This is when the brain becomes hyper-alert to signs of disapproval. It doesn't wait for evidence, it anticipates it. Imagine living in a house with a smoke alarm so sensitive that steam from the shower triggers it. That's what social interaction feels like for someone who feels hated. The alarm goes off constantly. And after a while, you stop questioning whether there's actually fire. But here's the truth. Most people with rejection sensitivity are not arrogant, they're not dramatic, they're deeply afraid. Afraid of confirming a belief they already carry. I am not wanted. This feeling rarely appears out of nowhere. It usually has roots. If someone grew up criticized constantly, emotionally neglected, compared to siblings, bullied at school, or loved conditionally, their nervous system learns something early. Connection is unstable. So the brain adapts. It becomes hyper-vigilant, scanning, reading micro-expressions, overanalyzing tone, replaying conversations at night. Not because they're paranoid, because they were trained to survive unpredictability. And here's something most people don't realize. When rejection feels familiar, the brain unconsciously looks for it. Familiar pain feels safer than unpredictable peace. Now let's talk about perception. When someone feels hated by everyone, they often experience mind reading, personalization, confirmation bias, and catastrophizing. They assume they know what others think. They interpret neutral behavior as negative. They search for proof. And every time the brain finds evidence of rejection, it strengthens the belief. Once a belief hardens, your brain filters reality to protect it. You stop seeing neutrality. You stop seeing kindness. You stop seeing nuance. You only see what confirms the fear. It becomes a self-sealing system. Now here's the uncomfortable twist. Sometimes, when someone feels hated by everyone, it's actually unresolved self-hatred. If deep down you believe, I'm not enough, I'm awkward, I'm unworthy, your brain assumes others see it too. Projection works quietly. We assume people view us the way we secretly view ourselves. So ask yourself, do people actually dislike you, or are you expecting them to? And expectation changes perception. Here's where it becomes self-fulfilling. If you believe people hate you, you withdraw, you become guarded, you avoid eye contact, you speak less, your energy shifts. Others feel that distance. They interpret it as disinterest, which makes them engage less, which confirms your belief. The cycle closes. Not because everyone hated you, but because fear shaped behavior, and behavior shaped reaction. Here's something important. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves to be thinking about you that much. The brain that feels hated is often overestimating its centrality. This is called the spotlight effect. We believe we are being observed and judged more than we are. But here's the empowering part. If the feeling is internally generated, it can be internally recalibrated. Not by pretending everyone loves you, but by questioning automatic interpretations, by slowing down conclusions, by separating fear from fact. Next time you feel that thought, everyone hates me, pause. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have? What else could this mean? is this reaction coming from them or from something older? Because sometimes the person you think everyone hates is simply someone who never learned to feel safe being seen. And that can be healed. Not by forcing people to like you, but by changing the story your brain keeps replaying. I'll see you in the next one.